Tesla Q1 2024 production and delivery numbers are in. In the first quarter, Tesla produced over 433,000 vehicles and delivered approximately 387,000 vehicles. And some big changes into their quarterly reporting now. Tesla now sharing their megawatts of energy storage deployed as well. Q1, a record quarter, 4,053 megawatt hours of energy storage products deployed, which, as they mentioned, is the highest quarterly deployment yet. Now, the decline in volumes was partially, not wholly, partially, due to the early phase of the production ramp of the updated Model 3 at our Fremont factory and factory shutdowns resulting from both shipping diversions caused by a Red Sea conflict and an arson attack at Gigafactory Berlin. Obvious things are obvious. Without these, production would have been meaningfully higher. It's hard to know the exact numbers. Also, don't forget the Chinese New Year and the shutdowns. But the gap is widening between production and deliveries. Of course, we don't know the reason for this. My best guess is logistics. And spoiler alert, these vehicles will be sold. You can count on that. So we'll find out. The numbers in table form, again, a big change to Tesla's quarterly reporting. They're now reporting other models, which includes the S, the X, and importantly, the Cybertruck. So can we learn anything from this about Cybertruck ramp? Not really. Q4, production 18,212. Q1, 20,995. Now, given this includes 3 different vehicle models, it's impossible to know for sure, but let's just imagine that S and X production held steady and constant. Obviously, it won't have been exactly steady. Maybe, and this is a big maybe, Tesla possibly produced 2,000, maybe close to 3,000 Cybertrucks in Q1. Solid start. Some broader context now. After all, Tesla doesn't exist in a vacuum. Is shared by Stephen Spencer on X. Tesla reclaims the quarterly electric vehicle crown from BYD in Q1. BYD electric vehicles were down 43% quarter over quarter. Tesla down 20%. Now, as I saw James Stevenson post today, if in doubt, zoom out. Clearly, there's a trend over time. Both of these companies are selling significantly more electric vehicles over time, on average. But it's not a straight line up. If you'll recall, after BYD Q4 numbers last year, Tesla loses the crown to BYD. Well, they've reclaimed the crown for now. Remember, of course, BYD with paper-thin profit margins selling vehicles half, even a third the price of Tesla's vehicles. Yet Tesla's still selling more at this point in time. Pretty impressive. But regardless of that, we zoom out here. The trend's pretty clear. More and more electric vehicles being sold over time. And now from 300, 400-ish thousand vehicles sold in the quarter to GM's electric vehicles, at least in the US, sold a whopping 16,425, which interestingly was down 20% year over year. Here's the deliveries breakdown, care of Sawyer Merritt. They delivered just over 7,000 Bolts, less than 6,000 Lyrics, less than 2,000 Hummers, just over 1,000 Silverados, which is really troubling, being a pickup truck after all. They should be selling fuck tons of these things. The Blazer, 600, and Bright Drop, 256. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the competition coming all over itself. And Hallmars shared this. Rivian deliveries. Q3 2023. Just remember, in Q1, GM in the US, just over 16,000. Rivian alone, in Q3, almost the same number, 15,564. But in Q4, 13,972. And then in Q1, 13,588. Now, it's too early to know for sure what's going on here, but I tell you what, for a company that's not yet making money selling electric vehicles, trying to compete in the same marketplace as Tesla, I'd be paying very close attention to what goes on with Rivian delivery numbers in the coming quarters. And it really is important to emphasize. You don't want to look at this over too short of a time frame. If you do something like that, you think it was the end of the world from Q4 2020 to Q1 2021, you think BYD was collapsing because they saw quarterly declines. You would have thought the same thing, Q4 2022 to Q1 2023 for BYD. And you would think the same thing again from Q4 2023 to Q1 2024. But spoiler alert, a few years from now, deliveries are going to be a lot higher for both of these companies. Same's true of Tesla. There's ups and downs along the way, never a perfectly straight line. But the trend is clear. And I saw this on X, I couldn't help but share. Tesla Boomer Mama reposting somebody with the caption, someone still so butthurt. Not sure who this guy is. What does this guy say? For over a year, I've been warning about this potential reality. Now it's here. It's time for shareholders to assess the blame where due. The Tesla board of directors should be replaced immediately with independent directors as required by law. And Alexandra's post was actually requoted as well by somebody. Summing things up nicely. I'm so frustrated that Elon has destroyed the stock market. He is so mean. And visually, we're looking at the performance of stonks today. sea of red. Just about everything getting smoked. Obviously, it's Elon's fault for everything. Sawyer Merritt also poking the bear. You can see this one on screen now. I'm not even going to comment. While we're on the topic of the competition and everything being Elon's fault, obviously it's also Elon's fault that over 40,000 Fisker customers have cancelled their Fisker Ocean reservations, which is around 57% of their order book. And just wanted to share this excellent post visualised from James Stevenson, the GOAT. We're looking at trailing 12-month global Tesla deliveries from Q1 2013 to Q1 2024, over a decade. Another piece of evidence that the Tesla board should be replaced immediately. Again, as James captioned this post, when in doubt, zoom out. And ironically, or unironically, I literally had to zoom out to fit this whole thing on the fucking screen because it's heading vertical. I'll zoom in a little bit just so you guys can see the shape of the curve up close. This is what things looked like from 2013, then surging. Now, what happened? Somebody tell me, what happened, say, I don't know, somewhere from 2018 to 2019. Keep in mind, this is trailing 12 months, so there's a bit of a lag on that data. What was occurring at Tesla that enabled them to increase their vehicle deliveries by a staggering amount? For real. Well, 2013 to 14 to 15, 16, 17, it wasn't until 2018 that Tesla's trailing 12-month deliveries hit the 100K mark. And then 2019, 12 months later, approaching 300. Then the next year, approaching 400. Remember the scamdemic. Then almost 600. Then over 1 million. Then almost 1.5. Now approaching 2 million. What occurred around here? Oh, I know. Hey, I know what it was. They released a new product. A more affordable product. What was it called again? The Model 3. That's right. I remember that. Oh, yeah. And then there was a variation on that same platform that came out soon after, the Model Y, which is now the world's best-selling car. Interesting. So it seems like when Tesla releases a new product that's much more affordable, suddenly their volumes surge. It's a shame that Tesla isn't working on another even more affordable vehicle platform that'll enter production in the next 12, 18, maybe 24 months. Such a shame. I wish they'd thought of that. Has anyone, hey Tesla, have you thought of that? Shouldn't you guys make an even more affordable vehicle? Oh wait, that's what they're doing. Oh, okay. Nothing to say here. Move along and please panic harder. I'm still buying with every spare cent. And by the way, this is kind of wild. Posted by Yahoo Finance. 3 reasons to remain bullish on Tesla, according to investor Tesla Larry. Let's watch what Larry has to say. Anyone else spun out that this dude's appearing in the finance media? Nice job, Larry.
Yeah, it was a big downside disappointment for me. The numbers, I'm not a fan of the issue of these delivery numbers being so important, because I'm a long-term investor in Tesla. I have a scenario that shows there are multiple different businesses coming to fruition, particularly the energy business and in addition, the Optimus business. So for me, the quarterly results are not as important as the trends and where they're going. So,
trigger alert. It appears, in Larry's own words, that he's a long-term investor. And he's modelled out Tesla over the long term, not just the automotive business, but other aspects of the business, including energy and the humanoid robot. Long-term thinking, long-term modelling, and long-term investing goes against the very essence of the finance media, which is all about short-term drama. Up, down, left, right, panic, buy. What do we do? What's happening right now? Not sure Larry's going to get invited back with such a controversial outlook on investing in Tesla. But trolling aside, this is nice to hear. I completely agree with Larry's sentiment here. I've said it many times. I don't give a flying fuck over the short term. What's going on? Is there a bump? Is it up? I don't care. Long term, that's what I care about. That's why I model the company out. This is why my Tesla valuation model, from day one, the version that people can download on Patreon, link in description, join at the investor level and above, has modeled out Tesla over a 10-year time frame. Now, I do model privately longer than that. It's just the level of uncertainty increases so much that I can't really see with too much clarity beyond that. But I still do the exercise of modelling it out. I just don't share those estimates beyond a decade from now because they're going to be so wrong anyway, it's not worthwhile. But this really matters. It's been guiding all of my investing decisions. This is why I was happy buying Tesla stock all the way up around $400 per share maybe 2 years ago, because I'm looking out a decade plus into the future thinking, am I going to regret buying at these levels today, 10 years from now? No, that's the answer. So I keep buying. Back to Larry, who no doubt is triggering the finance media. Kind of curious if he's triggered the finance media enough for them to want to bring the conversation back to the extremely short term. Should investors be worried? Should investors panic now? Is it the end of the world? Is EV demand collapsing? Is the competition coming? What about now, Larry? Now, not long term. Now.
we're seeing, the introduction of a new model in Fremont, the refreshed Model 3, just beginning to crank up. So we don't have production from there. We see the Cybertruck just beginning to get underway. And that's been a very promising launch, by the way. So I expect that we're going to see 100,000 Cybertrucks delivered this year. And I think that's going to have a huge impact on performance for the year. So we're in we're in transition mode. We were warned that this is between waves. That was the CFO's phrase in the last earnings call. So I expected a down quarter, not as far down as this, but Suez may have had an impact on it, as well as the startup of the new Model 3 in the factory in Fremont.
I noticed that you talked about the importance of trends, but we are seeing a trend of declines in EV sales, and this is just...
Did I not suggest that they're going to bring it straight back to the short term? So again, on screen now. According to what we've just heard from the anchor on Yahoo, aptly named, we are seeing a trend of declining EV sales. Would you call this a declining trend? Now, if you have an extremely tiny brain, by the way, I genuinely mean that. If your brain is extremely small, you might look at literally the last quarter and go, oh yeah, look, it's declining. That's not a trend, you fucking moron. This is a trend. This is a trend. And this is a trend. And this is a Yahoo. Get it? I'm just going to rewind a few seconds to make sure you hear what this derp just said.
I noticed that you talked about the importance of trends, but we are seeing a trend of declines in EV sales, and this is just kind of the latest example of that. So if you are a long-term investor, doesn't a drop in demand that we are seeing through today's numbers start to scare you a little?
I trolled earlier in this very video. Should investors panic? Should we be worried? The fake finance media is so predictable. Got a funny feeling Larry ain't going to take the bait.
No, this talk about the drop in demand for EVs, if you actually look at the real numbers globally.
Oh shit, he's about to commit a murder on air. Far more delicately than I would. If you actually look at the numbers, you dumb fuck. I mean, we did just look at the numbers, by the way. Somebody get me a body bag.
The global numbers are actually quite promising. We are reaching a tipping level in many European countries, and we certainly reached that tipping level in China. Now, China's got its own economic woes, and that has an impact on sales in general of vehicles. And so, EVs will follow that path. But we are seeing globally EVs reaching the tipping point against ICE cars. So I don't agree with the general impression or the knock on EVs at the moment. I think we're going to see continued growth in EV sales, and we are seeing continued growth in EV sales.
We are indeed, Larry, despite what the anchor claimed. Let me know in the comments below. Is Larry going to get invited back after just murdering this NPC?
Larry, I want to talk about full service driving, something basically in a generic sense it's been promised for a long time, and it seems like we're finally on the cusp of it. How close are we, number one, and how big an opportunity is this for some of the auto players?
Full self-driving is really an important, it is a critical step, and a step that is going to transform Tesla dramatically. And we're close. The problem is nobody is able to tell you how close because nobody's ever done it before.
Facts. By the way, got to give credit to Yahoo, not Anchor 1, but Anchor 2, for actually talking about full service driving. At least he is asking the question, as opposed to just focusing on Q1 numbers and falsely claiming that EVs demand is slowing down or sales are slowing down.
I have the latest version of full self-driving. I drove it before I left the United States last night. It is an amazing piece of software. It is truly amazing, and it's transformative. It is dramatically different than the previous versions of full self-driving. It really feels like it's thinking. It really feels like it's human. It has human-like tendencies. How far we are away? I guessed last year between 1 and 3 years. I would say that guess remains there. I think within 1 to 2 years of seeing Tesla declare, a level 5 and start taking responsibility.
If I had to guess, and I do guess, again, check out my Tesla valuation model, which does now differentiate between the bear case, the base case, the bull case, and even the hyperbull case in terms of when Tesla first begins operating robotaxis somewhere on Earth. Extremely likely that'll be California first. But in terms of the timing, and this is the thing, nobody knows because it hasn't been done before, but we've seen hockey stick moment after hockey stick moment with AI progress over the last decade, especially the last few years, where out of nowhere, capabilities have gone from embarrassing to interesting to stunning out of nowhere. And the best example of this I covered recently, ARK Invest in their Big Ideas 2024 report, published estimates from supposed experts and people in the industry about when AGI would be achieved. Just a few years ago, estimates were roughly the end of this century. Today, estimates are the end of this decade. What the fuck happened between a few years ago and today? Breakthroughs that people couldn't predict in terms of timing happen. And suddenly people realize, oh shit, this is happening sooner than we thought. So it is impossible to know exactly when this happens. But the trend, again, trends actually matter. The trend is clear. FSD is increasingly capable, and now, having been trained end-to-end on video, we're seeing human-like abilities, and there's no more obvious roadblocks. Previously, a lot of unknown unknowns, but now the path seems pretty clear. More compute, little more data, train, bam, gets better, done. And it's very important, fundamental, critical to Tesla's long-term valuation. After all, autonomy is a decatrillion-dollar opportunity.
I'm in Europe right now, and I was in New York, passing through New York last night. The number of taxi cabs and Ubers that are Teslas are quite amazing here in Europe and in the United States. So it looks like the Tesla is a really good fit for a taxi cab. And so the robotaxi opportunity for Tesla is just, it transforms the company by several orders of magnitude. That's just one of the opportunities in the Tesla, opportunity book.
Right, and barring a lot of...
So I'm noticing something, by the way, he's right. Multiple orders of magnitude in terms of opportunity. By the way, that's a literal statement. Think about it. And I got a funny feeling, I don't know, but I got a funny feeling that the anchor here has got someone in her ear going, we need to be negative, say something negative. Now, I'm no body language expert at all, which is why I'm not going to make any mention of the hand and the self-soothing behavior. That's not a tell. It's definitely not that she's now been told to say something negative and feels a bit uncomfortable about doing so, and therefore, anyway, let's move on, because this doesn't mean anything. It's a coincidence. She's just itchy.
Of potential headwinds here in the US, at least before that can hit kind of a broader market. But having said that, I want to end on a little bit more of a philosophical question. We've got about 60 seconds left for you here on this. Is Tesla a tech company or a car company?
That's an excellent question. It's clearly a tech company, but it's a tech company that differs from all other tech companies in that it has manufacturing smarts that cannot be equaled by any manufacturing company in the United States, and China are copying Tesla. So that's the big differentiator between Tesla and any other tech company in the world.
Absolutely legendary. Is he going to get invited back? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, this is not what Yahoo will have wanted to hear. What the finance media will have wanted to hear are things like, this was an unmitigated disaster. Tesla needs to replace the entire board of directors. It's the end of the world. The competition is coming. Tesla needs to advertise. Oh, wait, they are, but let's pretend they're not, because, wait, what? By the way, that's actually hilarious. Tesla running plenty of ads now, doing them on Facebook, Instagram, all over the place. Curiously, not moving the needle much. Remember, if it bleeds, it leads. So just wanted to wrap up with a little bit of context regarding Tesla stock. Today, closing $166.63 per share. 2 weeks ago, closed at $162.50. It's almost as if the stock market kind of saw this quarter coming ahead of time. And just finally, wanted to share this. From all-time high closing price to today, Tesla stock currently down 59.1%. My prayers to the flying spaghetti monster, the one true Sky Daddy, continue to be answered. I will never doubt his noodly appendages ever again. Thanks for the discount. $522 billion market cap with FSD V12.3.3 rolling out. Unreal. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. Certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.